Hey guys, Hobbs here. In Stormwind, you'll notice at the top says Discovered Mage Quarter. And I'm missing some of my spells. That's because my talent tree's been reset. And for those who have done public test realms, you know that when you transfer your character over, sometimes when there's a talent tree reset, you're able to do it. Well, I made a copy of Hobbs and transferred him over to the beta server. And I'll tell you, when I first got to Stormwind, first thing I wanted to do was hop on the mount and take a look at the view. And it was mind-blowing how far you could see. They've added on to this city. It's good to see the old combined with the new. And really, to fly in this game, in the original WoW, is a major advantage, and it's really cool. One of the things I noticed over here on the left was all this destruction. And this is what I found. This city represents what's going on in the whole original world. You're going to notice things pop out of familiar areas that might be destroyed or might be improved. And, you know, it keeps you paying attention the whole time you're exploring any of the new contents. Now, I did spend a couple hours in Stormwind alone just checking out all the new stuff. You know, you're going around a new corner and there's new buildings everywhere. You're able to fly on top of rooftops that you've never been able to be on top of. The auction house, for instance, the door you normally go into is closed and has been moved around the corner, and they've upgraded the look and feel of that, plus the bank. There is so much they've changed in this world that it's hard to capture everything, and really some of the graphics they've done, like the sun flare effect, has been just phenomenal as well. You know, it's already a beautiful world of Warcraft, and then to add all these other little things like the sun flare effect, I also read that is going to be also in other light sources. Could you imagine a boss encounter where, you know, there's bright lights and beams and having that type of effect go on? The water effects are amazing too. Like, look at the reflections in this, and you're going to notice transparencies. Like, if you look at this mob, you can see it underneath, and it's distorted by the waves. It gives it a little bit more of a depth of realism in a not real world. And this was taken outside of Menthil Harbor at this point, and when I got to it, when I was flying above, it just looked like Menthil Harbor, but getting upon closer look, it's all flooded. And this is what I was talking about earlier, about the element of surprise. You never know when you're going to see something new in a world that's already familiar to you. Now back to Stormwind. You missed the boat. Oh no, what do? You fly out to it. Now how cool is this? This is something that I had never thought of as an advantage to flying there. I thought, yeah, you could go up on top of buildings, get to places quicker, but, you know, I'm trying to get on this, but for some reason I wasn't able to at this point, so I went around to the side hoping I could catch it. Ah, there. I'm on a boat. Now, speaking of traveling, I thought I'd hit the Deep Run tram. And when was the last time you guys were actually at the tram? You know, we take mounts everywhere. And I wanted to see if anything was different. Now take a close look through this tram and see if you can see anything. Now while you were looking, did you see how nice the graphics were and everything else? Now I didn't find anything different, just to let you know. But that's what this does, is it keeps you paying attention to the old, and the new stuff like this jumps out at you at any moment. This neat spot was actually a addition to the Blasted Lands that's south of the Dark Portal, and all these poor Murlocs are all enslaved, and their families are being enslaved, and they've even got Murloc fights with betters all around there, gamblers. And the funny thing is when I was watching the fight, the Murlocs just do a bunch of backhands at each other. They don't hit forward. Anyways, and this was the Tainted Scar. If you remember, it wasn't lush and vibrant like this. Like, this tree is pretty amazing to look at. The only thing I really recognized from this zone, which made it familiar, was the actual mobs, the demons. In Westfall, take a look at what's going on in some places in there. Pretty chaotic. I actually went into Dead Mines, too, to take a look at the mobs were different. I went through the zone to see if I could see maybe the zoning for the new Dead Mines, but couldn't find one yet. And I actually thought, you know, hey, it's beta, let's test something out, see if I can get in the back zone. Now they got a mount, you know, and I made it up to this part, but there's actually a second drop. So I went back in the mount, because sometimes you don't dismount right away. I tried this a few attempts to get to this point. There, over 1, over 2. There we go. And, oh no, 1 more. So I tried jumping up, but it's too high. And actually, I tried in the corner here, and tried for about 15 minutes, because, to see if you could do it, and I couldn't do it, so that wasn't something I had to, report in the beta test, because you do want to test these things out, and I did find a couple things. Don't want to focus on that, because remember, it is in building, it is in process. But this is original WoW. I've always tried to find things that maybe others hadn't. Like, I tried to get on top of Karazhan. Why? Why not? I don't know. And when I say tried, I tried many a times. When you think of the cooldown on these boosts is 5 minutes, you'll notice that this took a lot of time and a lot of attempts. And I tried from different angles. Couldn't do it. Very frustrating. Now, I knew come Cataclysm I could do it, but I wanted to... There we go. Now, when I got up there, I'm like, yay, but none of the doors open. I couldn't really go anywhere but here. It was a neat view and all, but not as neat as the view. We're back to beta as flying above Karazhan. Like, look at this. There's a little platform I was on. I didn't notice there was a hole at the top here. I wanted to find out what was inside. Kind of like a little room. I was actually going to originally fly through the cracks here first, but when I saw that bottom piece there, and oh, did you see that? I passed by, I went down, there's griffins up here now. Now, I never noticed that before, and look at this, a new portal. I couldn't open the door, but, maybe that's a future instance. Oh, and then, of course, flying above, I always like to jump off things to see if I can land in puddles. So when I saw down here, there was a chance. Decided to jump, see if I could land in there without bubbling and without parachuting. And unfortunately, I did die. So there you go, guys. My first death in Cataclysm. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. This is a scene from the new zone in Hyjal. I flew up to the top of this huge tree. It's probably one of the biggest jumps I've ever done. And of course, I didn't slay one mob in this video, which is very odd, but I'll make up for that in the ones coming. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel at youtube.com/WoWHobbs, because I do have behind the scenes footage there. Thanks again, guys. This has been an exciting video for me to put out, but you know what? It's just the start of many more. Till next time.